Joshua chapter 15. This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom. The wilderness of Zin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast. And their south border was from the shore of the salt sea, from the bay that looketh southward, and it went out to the south side of Maal Hakrabim, and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and fetched a compass to Karkea. From thence it passed toward Asmon, and went out unto the river of Egypt. And the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast. And the east border was the salt sea, even unto the end of Jordan. And their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along the north of Beth Arba, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. And the border went up unto toward Debir from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is before the going up to Adumim, which is on the south side of the river. And the border passed towards the water of En-shemesh, and the goings out thereof were at En-rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom, and to the south side of the Jebusite. The same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of water at Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border was drawn to Bela, which is in Kirjath-jearim, and the border compassed from Bela toward westward unto Mount Seir, and passed unto the side of Mount Jearim, which is Chesalon, on the north side, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed on to Timnah. And the border went out unto the side of Ekron northward, and the border was drawn to Shikron, and passed along the Mount Bela, and went out unto Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. And the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Judah, round about according to their families. And unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a part among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. And Caleb drove thence the three sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. And he went up thence to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath-sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath-sepher and taketh it, to him I will give Achsah, my daughter, to wife. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah, his daughter, to wife. And it came to pass, as she came to him, that she moved him to ask her father a field. And she lighted off her ass, and Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom southward were Kabzeel, and Eder, and Jagur, and Kinnah, and Dimona, and Adadah, and Kadesh, and Hatzor, and Ithnan, and Ziph, and Telem, and Beloth, and Hazor, and Hadath, and Kerioth, and Hezron, which is Hatzor, Ammon, and Shema, and Moladah, and Hazar-Gaddah, and Heshmon, and Beth-Pelet, and Hazar-Shual, and Beersheba, and Bizjothjah, Bizjothjah, and Bela, and Lim, and Azim, and Eltolad, and Chesil, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmanah, and Sansannah, and Lebaoth, and Shilim, and Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29, with their villages. And in the valley, Eshtaol, Zoriah, and Ashna, and Zenoah, and Enganim, and Tapua, and Enam, and Jarmuth, and Adullam, and Succo, and Azekah, and Sheraim, and Adithaim, and Gedera, and Gederotham, 14 cities and their villages, Zenan, and Hadashah, and Migdalgad, and Dilian, and Mizpah, and Joktheel, and Lachish, and Bozkath, and Eglon, and Cabon, and Laman, and Kithlish, and Gederoth, and Beth-dagon, and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages, Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Jiphtah, and Ashna, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Akzib, and Maresha, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron with her towns and her villages, from Ekron even unto the sea, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod with her towns and her villages, Gaza with her towns and her villages, unto the river of Egypt, and the great sea, and the border thereof. And then the mountains, Shamir, and Jatir, and Succo, and Dana, and Kirjath-Sana, which is Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemoh, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages, Arab, and Duma, and Eshion, and Janab, and Beth-Apua, and Aphekah, and Humta, and Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron, and Zair, 9 cities and their villages, Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdean, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages, Halhul, Bethzer, and Gedor, and Meerath, and Bethanoth, and Eltikon, 6 cities and their villages, Kirjath Baal, which is Kirjath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities and their villages, in the wilderness, Beth Araba, Midin, Sekaka, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-gedi, 6 cities and their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. Every single chapter has something in it that is interesting if you understand what it says and what it doesn't say. In addition to this great list of nearly unpronounceable names of the cities and places, there are 3 things here that make a great deal of difference, or could. The first one is we see that Caleb and his family take on the Anakims, the sons of Anak, which is what they're called, and they defeat them. So this would have been the strong-walled cities also, and they not only defeat them, they go on to Debir, which is another place that's supposed to be very fortified, very strong, and they take that. And what Caleb did was he had a daughter, at least one, and he said, to whoever takes this city, I will give this, my daughter, to wife. Now, that would seem totally foreign to our experience, but it was pretty common then. And as a fellow named Othniel, who was his younger brother's son, did the job and got her as his wife. Now, interesting thing, in the next book, in Judges, we'll see that this Othniel was quite worthy of being Caleb's son-in-law. A very, very great individual in the history of Israel. Then at the very last, we see something that's really sad, and that was that the Jebusites who lived at Jerusalem could not be driven out by the tribe of Judah, but that's because the tribe of Judah was doing it on their own without the Lord's help because they weren't righteous enough for the Lord's help. How sad.